It's Friday, March 20th, 2009. I'm Will, Rob's on assignment, and you're watching Political Lunch. Welcome back to the lunch. It's Friday. You can consider today your Political Lunch lightning round. 10 political news stories in 3 minutes or less. Number 10, we start with the president on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno last night. It was the first time on late night for a sitting president. And unfortunately, it will probably be remembered for Obama's offhand remark about his bad bowling. He said, quote, "It's like being in the Special Olympics or something." Now, whether or not that may have been in bad taste, you can bet that one will get dredged up in, say, 2 or 3 years, give or take, especially if Sarah Palin is any part of the equation. The best comeback, though, came today from chairman of the Special Olympics, Tim Shriver, who offered to send some of their athletes over to the White House to help Obama improve his score. Number 9, speaking of Sarah Palin, yesterday the Alaska governor announced that she would refuse some of the federal stimulus money coming her state's way if the money, in her view, threatens to put the state in a bind in future years. Number 8, while we're on the subject of possible future GOP contenders, Mitt Romney was on Larry King Live last night for a relatively rare, high-profile interview. Romney cut the Obama administration more slack than some of his Republican counterparts have in recent weeks. He did, however, say he felt the president is trying to do too much, and that's how the now infamous AIG bonuses managed to slip through the net. Number 7, on the subject of those bonuses, yesterday the House approved a new tax, 90% on bonuses given to executives of firms that have received more than $5 billion in bailout money. The Senate is expected to approve that measure next week. But 6, regardless of that, one senator may still have a tough time spinning the bonus issues in his favor. That would be Connecticut's Chris Dodd, who is the chairman of the Senate Banking Committee and the person with whom the buck should have stopped. Number 5, on the topic of stimulus, it's not just about money, it's also about the law. 2 legislative issues currently under debate could have a major impact on the nation's industrial sector. First, the Employee Free Choice Act may soon pass through Congress, and while labor advocates say it's a boon for workers who will be more free to unionize, industry analysts say it could significantly increase labor costs. And second, Congress is now considering increasing taxes on corporate overseas income. Number 4, on to health care now. The Democrats are expected to push for congressional approval of a major national health insurance plan sometime this year. But to do so, and to prevent a filibuster, they may need to employ a parliamentary procedure known as reconciliation, which would allow them to pass the bill filibuster-proof with just 51 votes. Now, the GOP is already up in arms about this, and regardless of how the maneuver actually works, it's a sign that the national health care overhaul debate could be more about politics as usual than anyone had hoped. Number 3, how about this piece from the Boston Globe, which followed Howard Dean on an overseas tour? They're comparing him to Newt Gingrich, who was exiled from the Republican Party during the Bush years. And number 2, of course, we should mention one of the biggest stories of the week. The U.S. Treasury will buy $1 trillion worth of securities, injecting money into markets where there are few real buyers these days. And that, of course, has kept the Dow above 7,000 for the week, or at least we hope. And number 1, finally, your weekly Minnesota Senate race update. The latest development is that Al Franken has asked that Norm Coleman be ordered to pay the costs of the 7-week court case if Coleman loses his bid to overturn Franken's lead. And that will do it for Political Lunch this week. Have a great weekend. We'll see you right back here on Monday.